Maestro, Big Smoking, Knock. What's up, Dre? What kind of cats would want to sign a record contract, knowing damn well the company's gonna stab you in the back? In 92, we were unexperienced and green. We had fame, but we was chasing after green. I mean, the talent in the drive was all in place. Now all we needed was the cash and we could all be straight. Managers robbing us blind and they could care less. To them, it was a business, so we get stressed. And you know that brings about a list of biases. Smoking, drinking, and popping pills for personal crisis. Doing what you had to do just to stay afloat. Having a hit song and bringing broke ain't a joke. So now we go to the CEO just to find out why we not receiving our just due. They came up with lies, time to say bye-bye. But here comes the weather. The love for the game is what held it all together. Gotta have love, gotta have love. Gotta have love, gotta have love. Gotta have love, gotta have love. One of the last in this game, gotta have love. Now even though I'm on the outside looking in, I went to college but never stopped pimping my pen. I was still all in, but what I was surprised to know, my partner cried when I left, bro. He thought I left him cold, that wasn't it at all. Thought I could save my folks some change, so I left in the fall of 91. And that's when things just begun to start rolling for young Pimp and Bun. It seems the battle could be won. When he took my place, things started taking shape. That's how God wanted it, and it's by his grace that I overstood. I didn't fight the feeling, the show had to keep going. And if God was willing, they would always receive me with open arms. We hit the stage, rip it up all day in the morning. I hear the crowd screaming, UGK, we tough like leather. The love for the game is what held it all together. You gotta have love, gotta have love. Gotta have love, gotta have love. You gotta have love, gotta have love. Gotta have love. Sometimes I reminisce on how things were. I can remember a few scenes, other times of blurs. Chilling with Smoke, D, Bird, and Herb, drinking 40s, barbecuing and cooking. Every day was a party. She would walk in, man, it be going down. He be tired from doing shows, moving from town to town. But he be all smiles and sit down and join the fun. Put his bags away, come back in and hit the blunt. And that was on a regular basis. In most cases, traveling, seeing unfamiliar places and strange faces. Can often drive you stir crazy, but they didn't stop. It was all a sacrifice. They won the fight and didn't flop. When tell me something good, drop. It was all a dream, but we didn't have a clue of what this game could bring. We've been through real hell, experienced a life of pleasure. The love for the game is what held it all together. Gotta have love, gotta have love. Gotta have love, baby. Gotta have love, gotta have love. Gotta have love. Before any money ever made, baby, you gotta make sure that you love it. You know what I'm talking about? After you go what you go through, all your ups and downs, then you'll know what it's all for. Peace. Be smoking.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us tonight with Crowded Streaming. I appreciate you tuning in with us another night, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9:30 before the Slow and Poured Discharge Show with Kingly and 4500. Tonight, we've got a gentleman on there. He's got an excellent, amazing music story. Something that a lot of you going to enjoy hearing. His name's Big Mitch out of Port Arthur, Texas. He was one of the original members of the supergroup UGK. Rest in peace, Pimp C, but he was one of the founding members of the group UGK. So we are very, very excited and interested in hearing his story tonight of what all he's got to say and what he brought to the industry as far as the UGK and how it affected his music career. So just waiting on Mitch to jump on with us now, and we're gonna have a good time. All right, look like Mitch is in the building now, and we're gonna jump right into it. All right, Mitch should be jumping in with us shortly. Just waiting on Mitch to get in. One of the founding members, as I said, the group UGK. So Mitch gonna jump on, tell us the story all about that. If you're an artist, make sure you go to our website, crowdedstreaming.com, and download the app, put your music on, things like that. We definitely would love to have you in there. Uh, Mitch, what's going on, man?
What's happening, brother?
Ain't too much, man. Glad to have you on tonight. I know you got an amazing story about this music industry and how things go. And I know the people definitely want to hear what you got to say. Uh, if you don't mind, I want to start in the beginning, if that's all right with you.
It's all good, brother. Whatever you want to do.
How you doing tonight, man? And thanks for jumping on with us
Shit,
over here at Proud of Streaming.
man, I'm good, man. I'm blessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, already. But I was saying some of this before you jumped on with us, letting the people know that you were actually one of the original, or should I say, founding members of the group UGK. Which, for people who don't know what that is, because that was Pimp C, the late Pimp C, rest in peace, and Bun B. But before the group came to what a lot of people knew, is Pimp C and Bun B. There was a group with a few more. You guys had more members than just them. So this is one of the founding members, Big Mitch. And you've heard Pimp C shout him out on multiple albums. If you go back and you listen to UGK or you think about the lyrics that you know, when he's saying my partner, my homie, Big Mitch, this is Big Mitch he talking about. So
Right on.
start in the beginning. I mean, bring us back because I know that UGK was started in the late '80s. I know a lot of people didn't get jump on it until later on, but bring us to where you started in the music industry and how you connected with Pimp C and Bun B and UGK and all of that.
Uh, my start with Pimp was in junior high school.
Right.
You know, we met in junior high school at Woodrow Wilson Middle School here in Port Arthur, Texas. Uh, that was probably 86, something like that, 86, 87.
Yeah.
And he was a band cat, you know, and I played football, and I was also in choir, and he was in choir also. You know, we met in the band hall at Woodrow Wilson Middle School. You know, he played me his first demo tape called "I'm Fresh," and from that point on, we just kept in contact with each other. You know, Bun didn't come in the picture until we were in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, how many founding members or original, or let me ask this, how many members of UGK has there been?
Over the years,
I mean, well, the beginning, I guess, and then we can get into over the years.
I mean, at the beginning, it was only Chad and I.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I came up with the name because we had another name before UGK.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Our name before UGK was Mission Impossible. And we had a whole crew called Dangerous Music Incorporated. That was the name of our crew, with quite a few other outstanding members that we had in that crew. I also came up with that name.
Yeah.
But I didn't know at the time that Too Short had his
Dangerous
company was named Dangerous Music and
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So DMD became our DJ, and when we found out, he changed it to Def Music Incorporated, which didn't last that long.
Yeah. That's actually so. What I want to ask you is, so when they came out, what was the first UGK album, and were you on it?
Yes, sir. The first UGK album was Too Hard to Swallow. That was the full album. Of course, you know. Right. I was on a song called Groupies, which Russell Washington, he didn't pay for that session that day. So that song didn't make the album. You know, but shout out to Big Russ, you know what I mean? Good cat.
Yeah.
But he didn't pay for the session, and the song didn't come out. But you know, that's how things go when you know, in the studio. Sometimes, you know, you may not have the money to pay for a session at the time. So as time goes on, you know, other recordings go on, and that one just got put to the side.
Yeah, I understand that. I definitely have heard how things can go in the studio and get mixed up.
Absolutely.
At what point did you decide, and correct me if I'm wrong, at what point did you decide to go solo, or you and the group kind of, I don't want to say split up, because I know you guys, I'm assuming you guys still like have a good relationship and things like that, you know. So
right.
At what point did you decide to do something different, or it was just Pimp and Bun and no longer, you know, Big Mitch?
I decided to go to college.
Right. Okay.
To play ball at Prairie View A&M, and as I made that decision, you know, Chad and I had some talks. You know, and he was like, Mitch, can, you know, I have the name? And I was like, well, you know, yeah, no, you know, no problem. And he was like, can I also ask Bun, you know, to take your place while you know, you in college?
Right.
And I said, well, yeah, that's who I was going to, you know, suggest.
Right.
To take my place, you know what I'm saying? It was nobody else that was as dope, you know, as Bun at the time that was in the city. So that was the natural pick.
Right.
And I went off to college fall of 91, and they began as UGK in the fall of 91.
Yeah. I see in this part of the story, I now, and for anybody else that may see this interview, I'm glad you're saying some of the things you're saying, because now they can understand why, you know, you and Pimp C probably up to the time of his passing had a good relationship. And I'm assuming you and Bun still have a good relationship, because, I mean, just because you chose to go off and play ball and go to college, you didn't stop the movement on what they had. Like, you kind of gave them your blessing and
gave them my blessing. I had to, you know, the ball had to keep rolling.
Right.
You know, I didn't want the group to stop just because, you know, I decided to make that type of decision to go play ball in Prairie View.
Right.
You know.
Right. So,
it was only right for me to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I think what you did was like a I mean, it was a gentleman's move, you know, like it don't get no better than that. And then look what UGK became. And I mean, I don't. I'm glad you're on here telling your story because people need to hear this because without that move you made right there, we just don't know what would have happened. You see what I'm saying? Like we probably would have missed out on a lot of good music that really got, you know, a lot of people from that area through some hard times. You know, if you're from Beaumont, Port Arthur, the Golden Triangle, or anywhere, Houston, Lake Charles, Louisiana, you know, anywhere on the South or what we consider the third coast, you was definitely jamming UGK. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They definitely put PA, Short Texas, as they call it, you know, on the map. But it's good that people get to hear some of this history about it, because when other artists are making decisions, I want them to learn from somebody, you know, who stepped away and went did what he had to do, passed the torch to his friend, brought in his other friend, and let everybody be amazing in their own right. You know what I'm saying? And it was just
Absolutely.
You know, it was just good. So after football and, you know, all of that, what happened with you and the group, or did you just decide to stay solo? Or because I do know UGK was under some contracts, and I do know when you under contract, you can't just bring in a new member. So how did that work for you when you said, okay, I'm done at PV, I'm done playing ball, let me get back to this rap?
When I came home, I was welcomed with open arms.
Already.
You know what I'm saying? The beautiful thing about it was, you know, it was God's will for UGK to be Pimp and Bun the way that everybody knew. You know, the way everybody know UGK now. That was God's will, you know what I'm saying? That didn't have anything to do with any of us as the members.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? God is in control. So I was only following what I thought was the right thing to do at the time. And when I decided to go to school, everything started rolling right for them.
Right.
So it was on, like I say, man, this is in the control of God. You know, I take no credit for none of this. Bun will tell you, and Pimp would have told you the same when he was here. We don't take any credit for all of the accomplishments we have, all the success. This is all God, man. Yeah. Even the bad times that we've been through together, that's all him. It only made us stronger, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And as far as me, you know, going to PV, I always stayed in touch. You know, Chad would come and visit me every now and then.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We was even supposed to do a show together at Prairie View, you know, for a homecoming one time. You know, it didn't happen, but I went on and I performed without him. And actually, it was the song Groupies that we were supposed to perform.
Right. So you did get a chance to perform it and let the people hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
So what was when you get back and it's Pimp and Bun? I mean, was you doing features? Because I know you guys stayed. To know you guys stayed in touch. Were you on any of the UGK albums after the original album?
Oh yeah, Super Tight.
Okay.
I was on a song called Weed with 3-2, Bun, and myself.
Okay.
And also, of course, you know, Riding Dirty, you know, I was on 3 in the morning.
Right.
Now, the other albums, the only other album that I made was the UGK for Life album, which, you know, Bun took my verse off the song, but, you know, I didn't really have too much of a problem with it. I asked him why and everything, and, you know, he gave me, you know, his whatever his excuse for taking me off the song.
Right.
But
Oh,
you know, it wasn't no animosity or anything. You know, he just made a decision, and
right.
you know, he heard the song. Actually, Chad and I had done the song together a few months uh, before they was getting ready to do this album. This was supposed to be on something that Pimp was doing, a solo album. And because him and I, you know, we share the love of Frankie Beverly and Mays, my one of Pimp's good people, Steve Belo, had produced a song called well, Feeling You, that was on the UGK for Life album.
Yeah.
And there's a version of with just Chad and I on it. And actually, DJ 4500, shout out to the homie, he got a copy of that song with the, you know, it's a mixtape I gave him that nobody else really have.
Yeah.
And I guess he just holding on to it to drop it whenever, you know, he feel so moved, you know what I mean? But he
Yeah.
has a copy of the song with just Chad and I on it.
Yeah. So
It's jamming.
yeah. I hope he puts that out soon on the platform. Um.
Mm-hmm.
So how did your career? What did you decide to do as a solo artist? Because I know you were still putting out music. And did you stay independent the whole time?
Of course, man. Miss Monroe gave me a lot of advice when it came down to doing our music and doing my music.
Yeah.
And she, her main thing was, Mitch, don't sign no papers to nobody. Make sure you stay independent. Don't matter, no matter how long it take you to learn the business and learn what you need to do. Make sure you stay independent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've always done music, man, from when I was in college up until now. You know, I have a plethora of material that hasn't been released that will be released at some point in time. You
We need
know,
to we need to get your music, put it on the crowded streaming platform, and do a release party. That's what we need to
hey,
do. That
let's do it.
that's what we need to do because I've heard your verses on the UGK album. I remember Pimp shouting out, Big Mitch and all of that. His home
Right,
Mitchell, and that's what I'm telling everybody. They know who you are. It's just like you got to go back and listen because there's a lot of songs on there. He talking about me. And he some songs he say Big Mitch, some songs he say my partner Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I know, and I feel like with the whole UGK thing, when Chad kind of when Pimp C passed, it kind of left like I don't feel like that chapter was really full yet. So, what kind of relationship do you and Bun B have, and will that be? And you don't have to get into that if you don't want to, because over here at Crowded, we won't speak. We got good things to say about everybody. So I'm saying, what kind of positivity y'all have on the relationship, and could there ever be a Bun and Chad? I mean, a Bun and Mitch, UGK album.
Uh, Bun and I, we have a great relationship.
Already.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah, we don't talk on a regular basis. You know, he's a busy man, but you know, we check up on each other to make sure we all right. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Bun has always done his own thing and rep UGK in his own way,
yeah.
and he's done a
Definitely.
great job of that. You know, I take very much good pride in what I do as far as repping UGK in my way. And, you know, we just allow each other to do our own thing. Now, as far as Bun and I doing an album together, you know, I think it's a beautiful idea, but, you know, that's in Bun's court. You know what I mean? He know that if he say, hey, Mitch, let's do something, I'm there, you know, front and center. You know what I'm saying? But that's in his court. You know, if I decide to do something and I ask Bun to be on it, I'm sure he'll jump on it.
Yeah.
I just haven't asked them to be on anything as of lately.
Right.
But I have so much material, man. I mean, it's only a matter of time before we do things. And, like I say, God is in control of this, man. If it's meant for us to do something together, it's meant for us. If it's not, then it won't be. But that's my brother. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he will tell you the same. We are 100, and
Yeah.
that's all it could ever be. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So on that note, like I say, the ball is in my brother's court, and I welcome the idea. You know what I'm saying? I've thought about it several times. I've even dreamed about it. You know,
Yeah.
so it's a good look, but like I say, if it don't happen, it's in God's hands, baby.
Yeah, definitely. I personally, as a fan of UGK, you know what I'm saying. I would love to see something like that happen, just to bring that sound back. You know what I'm saying.
I would love to see it happen.
It was back then you had music, but then when that UGK would come out, man, it was just a different feel. You know what I'm saying. And
Yeah, it was an event.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? When a UGK album came out, man, it was an event. People got ready for a UGK album. You know what I'm saying? These were special projects because when we put these projects together,
right.
we had our fans in mind when we did these albums. You know what I mean? We wanted to please ourselves first as artists. You know what I'm saying? And we know if we stayed true to who we were, then the fans will follow suit. And it's all about giving the people what they want. When you give the people what they want, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna follow.
Yeah, I think
And that's all we ever did.
some of my favorite things about the UGK back in the day and how you guys moved was. Um, Pimp definitely had a style that in his bars that nobody heard before, and the way he was talking and rapping and the stuff he was saying. And what I like most about that is he refused to change it for anybody. Like you couldn't tell
That's
Pimp
right.
to change his verse, or nothing like that. It just wasn't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell.
Nope.
He'll tell you, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm putting this out. That's what I said, and they gonna like it. And it
Right.
worked. And it worked. And I mean, I felt like let's talk about one of the tracks like that people know that you was on 3 in the morning.
Right.
That was three different styles on there. You know what I'm saying? That was three different styles
Yes.
there. And Bun B, of course, delivered the lyrics as he always did. And then you got Pimp, delivering the flavor. Then you got you coming on, telling them how you tell them. You know what I'm saying? So that was,
Right. Right.
the thing about UGK. How did it affect you when because Pimp C, I mean, right when you guys, and I'm gonna say you guys because I know you was a part of it. I know you was doing your solo thing, but I know how you guys was moving together and things like that as a unit, as a family, and things like that. So, how did
Hmm.
it affect you guys when Pimp C was sentenced to prison? Because he got some prison time, and I believe the word on the street was he actually got off easy because they was really trying to, make him go sit down for a lot longer than what he did. But I guess through good lawyers and just praying to the man upstairs, he was able to, go in and do what he had to do and get on out. So how did that affect the group? Because things definitely, I don't want to say slowed down, but you guys, when you got three people in one go, it takes an effect on the group. So how did that affect you?
Uh, I can't say that it was a happy occasion.
Yeah,
I was very concerned for my brother, going into that situation because neither one of us were made for that hellhole.
right,
So it was a very solemn, very serious time. A lot of people prayed for him,
Yeah.
and by the grace of God and with the help of Jay and some other good people, he was able to come out of it smelling like a rose.
Yeah, definitely.
But I won't say that he didn't have his times in there where he probably didn't think he was gonna be coming home soon. The nigga gained a lot of weight when he was in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he was very stressed. He was concerned about his family, and he was definitely concerned about the group as a whole, going forward, because he is, the main character in our circle.
Yeah.
It's the pimp in the bun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And the Mitch, we're gonna make sure we put that. It was the pimp, the bun, and the Mitch.
Well, yeah, that's one thing that I didn't concern myself with at the time, because, like I said, everybody knew and know UGK as Pimp in the Bun.
Right.
The circle, the true circle is, we know what it is.
Right.
And that's not something I ever had to prove, you know what I'm saying?
Already.
But, Bun went through a lot of shit too at the time when Chad was sitting for a while. You know what I'm saying? The cat went through a lot of, man, and he did to keep Pimp's name alive and to keep UGK name alive. And he did absolutely that and more,
I remember Bun B doing the Pimp C shows, making sure he was screaming Pimp C at every show, had the song popping for Pimp and all of that. But I do,
the Free Pimp C movement.
Yeah, the Free Pimp C movement. After UGK, I believe they moved to Rap-A-Lot Records. What was your association with Rap-A-Lot Records? Did you ever go over there and do music, or you did not? Because I know Rap-A-Lot. A lot of people don't know this, but I know Jay Prince pioneered, this Southern rap industry, back in that day. So whether you were signed to Rap-A-Lot or not, it's kind of like he still had a hand in a lot of people's careers, steering them the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jay was definitely a positive presence, if you will, with UGK. As far as me, I never had any, business dealings with Jay. You know what I'm saying? But there's a great amount of respect that I have for the brother, because he has a very vast, how can I say, a lot of information, if you will, when it comes to running a successful record company.
Right.
He's also a praying man. And a lot of the things that he went through, with Rap-A-Lot, he had to be a praying man.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely heard the story.
They did not want to see that man on the top. They did not want to see him be as successful as he was and as he is.
Right.
And he's a survivor of all of those people coming at him, trying to bring him and his company down. So it's a lot. It's a major respect level when you begin to talk about that brother and what he's done for the South and just for, Southern music, the movement, period. You know what I mean? He is the man, period.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. Some of the biggest record labels from the South, you'll hear Cash Money, you'll hear Definitely hear Master P and even Jermaine Dupri all credit Jay Prince with giving them advice on what they needed to do when they started their labels and things like that. So,
Oh yeah.
so I know there was some other labels like supposed to happen that didn't. The whole UGK Records movement. What happened with that, and where does that stand now? If you don't mind talking about that, telling us about that.
Uh, UGK Records, in my eyesight, it does not exist. You know
You
what I'm saying?
you said it does not exist.
No, it does not exist.
Okay, okay. Oh,
Uh, you know, he's Leo was one of the main cats that was trying to get that situation going, and it really just never got off the road like it was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Things didn't add up the way it was supposed to, and it just never happened. But it's not that we didn't want it to happen. It just didn't
right,
materialize properly. So,
right.
as that name, when you put UGK behind it, you don't want to half ass do nothing.
Yeah, it's
You
definitely
know what I'm
that
saying? So
expectation.
when things don't materialize and go right, then like the old saying go, if it don't fit, don't force it.
Right, exactly. I agree with that. I remember hearing mumblings of UGK records, and I was just wondering if that was something that that was still going on. I know Pimp C had stake or was part owner or artist maybe on Trill ENT, but I don't know where that is now with Turk and Mel things like that. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. Uh,
Yes.
with all of that, much love to
Mm-hmm.
everybody, but I do know some things kind of got put on the burner with the passing of
Absolutely, man. A
Pimp.
lot of stuff got put on hold.
And and since we to that part, how did that not only losing, and I don't want to mean like, because you didn't just lose your band member. I mean, you lost your childhood friend. You know what I'm saying? This somebody you met in
Yes, sir.
second grade, developed a brotherhood with, to the point where you said you going to college, and he said, "Well, can I keep the name?" And you like, "Of course," and bring this brother in because he's an amazing artist. So, I mean, like you basically, you gave them what they needed to jump off the porch and be UGK. So with the passing of Pimp C, how did that affect you and your music career? Because I know you were like, I know you played, I know you did your own thing, but I know you were a big supporter. When they called you, if they needed a verse or whatever they needed, you was there for them. So how did Pimp C's passing affect your career and your how you moved in the industry?
Uh, I'll put it to you this way. MySpace was popping at the time, and I had just finished my first album, and I was getting ready to upload my album to MySpace, where not only you could listen to it, but could get paid for either selling the album or selling a song
Right,
individually.
right,
So when he passed, all that shit ceased. For a while, I couldn't do any music, man, because with his passing, I knew that a lot of things were gonna go undone.
hmm
Not just, because of me and who I am, because we had a lot of things that we were gonna do together,
yeah.
aside from, the UGK thing, because of him and I being the original members, we were going to do a project together.
hmm
And he was going to sit down with me, and we were going to go back to what we were doing with the Southern Way,
Right.
and we were going to do my album in that spirit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you.
So when he passed, all of those plans ceased to exist after that. So you have to understand, my point of view was, I'm like, okay, now I got to revamp my whole program. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't even feel like putting my album out anymore because of his passing. Not that I was going to quit, but I had to sit back and plot different moves to make before I could go forward. Because now I'm moving specifically on my own, and I don't know the business as I need to know the business because the business is steady changing. So
Right.
you have to step back, give yourself time to mourn the passing of your brother, and then get back in the saddle and see what you can do to bring everything to fruition, you know, because everything had to be rethought and, like I said, revamped before things could go forward.
Yeah, definitely.
But what it did was it made me sit down and start studying, and it also made me sit down and write, you know, another album, which was the album I eventually ended up putting out, which is called, my first album, Big Mitch Is Still Smoking.
Yeah.
And, you know, that going through all of that, the passing of my brother and those things, you know, it helped me to write that album, because some of the songs on that album I did before he passed, and some of the songs I did after he passed. So that's why I named the album Still Smoking, because
Right.
I'm still doing my thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Not stopping, not quitting, because he wouldn't want me to do that.
Right. Right. And
But you have to give yourself time to mourn and understand why God made a move like that.
yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get any overstanding of that situation, then you can make wrong moves. And then it will further put you back. You know what I'm saying? If you just jump out there head first and you don't know what's going on, you have to plot your next move.
Yeah.
To make sure it's the right move.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, man. And as far as it hurting me, oh yeah, it hurt to the core of me. You know what I'm saying? Unlike any other person other than my father passing, man, you know, that's the only other cat that, you know, actually, you know, it took me literally months to get over that. You know, I cried a lot of nights because that boy wasn't here no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have him to be like, hey, Chad, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing? And, you know, how your mama doing and all this. But life goes on, and he wouldn't want me to be around here crying and moping and
Yeah.
carrying on every day. So, you know, I had to man and get my stuff together, and that's what I did.
Yeah. So did you ever develop a relationship with Trill ENT?
No, I really didn't get to develop a relationship with them. I wish I could have had the chance to do so. You know, I Webby and Boosie and those cats, but I never got a chance to even meet them. You know what I'm saying? But at
Yeah.
the same time, Chad told them about me.
Right.
And as me being the founding member of the group. So even though I've never met those cats, they know me because of Chad and the
Yeah.
documentaries that that's out there right now.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some of the Pimp C documentaries from back when that group got started, and he was saying Big Mitch and things like that. So you've definitely always been a part of the movement. Uh, but one of the things I want to get into is
Mm-hmm.
your current project that you're working on. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about this album that you're working on right now. Give them the name of it one more time, and let's jump into that and talk about that for the people.
You the special project that I'm getting ready to put out, or are you talking about the
Yeah.
project that I have out at this moment? The special
Uh,
project?
which let's talk about both of them.
Well, the project I have out right now is Big Mitch's Foundation. And I named it that because I feel as if, well, I know that I am the foundation that the
Right.
UGK legacy stands on.
Right.
And I take pride in that, and I take that very seriously. You can tell when you listen to the album, how serious I am about, continuing our legacy and the great music. What I get from a lot of people is that say, well, Mitch, you didn't try to sound like Pimp or Bun, but we see exactly where they get a lot of their stuff from. Every
Yeah.
time I've been in the studio with cats, they be like, man, I hear it. You know what I mean? I can see why, all of y'all got along and all of y'all coincide. So, I try to put a lot of different things on this project that people would like. It's something on there that everybody can dig. I try to touch every base that I possibly could. Besides, the stuff that's going on right now. I can't do that stuff. You know what I mean? I can only do who I am and how I've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
So Big
Tell me
Mitch is the
your Go ahead. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Nah, you good. Go ahead.
Okay. Tell me your favorite track on the album right now.
Uh, it's funny you asked that question. I was listening to it a couple of days ago, and I was on my way from work, and the melody to Pimp Law came to my
Mhm.
mind, and I was in the car, and I put it on, and when I listen to my album, I usually listen to it from the beginning to the end. When I
Right.
do listen to it, I'm not like that, just like to bang their own music all the time. I don't do that. I have to really feel like listening to it, and critiquing it again, because I'm my hardest critic. But Pimp Law came to mind, and I played Pimp Law, and I started jamming it. It's one of my favorite cuts on the album. But if I had to name my favorite cut, it would probably be Rats, Roaches, and Junkies.
Oh man, you
That
brought
would
it with a
probably
name
be,
like that. You brought it back to the original UGK names. That's back on
yeah,
like something would have been on super tight. You know what I'm saying? So
right. You know what I'm
so
saying? It's
definitely.
all it's all in representation of the things that we've done in the past, man. And it's just me. You know what I mean? A lot of people be like, Mitch, I'm glad that you're not trying to be like Bun or Pimp. You just you. And that's all I be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my favorite cut. Tomorrow, it might be, Body Killer. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how I
Yeah,
feel at that day.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
I
that's the
definitely
project.
make sure you continue to send your music over to 4500 so we can get it on the streaming platform. Uh,
Oh yeah, man.
Everybody that's
It's a
watching
lot
this,
of things
oh,
that I'm gonna send y'all.
Yeah, definitely. And we need to set up that album release party. We need to work on that together. We need to make that happen. Everybody that sees this interview, watching it live or see it in the future, make sure you go to Crowded Streaming and you stream Big Mitch album. Uh, we're gonna have a couple albums on there for him in a little while, but y'all make sure y'all jump on there and stream his music. It's a lot of good music, a lot of good classics, as we'll call it, but they just haven't been out yet. New classics, classics that need to be
That's
heard.
right.
So it's
That's
a
right.
sound that we probably ain't heard. Most people ain't heard in a while. But if you was around listening to music when 8 Ball, MJG, and a whole Suave House and Rap a Lot, and the South was really doing their thing. If you missed that sound right there, you need to go to Crowded Streaming, look up Big Mitch, and make sure you take a look and a listen at some of that music he has on there. Sit in your car, sit
Yes, sir.
down, however you got to do it. But you definitely gonna find what you've been missing when you get down and you put that Big Mitch in your tape deck.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and Mitch, I know you got a amazing story, and we can go all night, but we're gonna have to do a part two because right now, everybody, the part that y'all love, we got to get everybody ready to go to Kingly and DJ 4500 show, Grind City Media, Slow and Poured Discharge show on the Roku channel. Y'all make sure y'all checking them out, and if you're an artist, you need to go to crowdedstreaming.com, create your artist profile, download the app, and we do pay artists for streams. Remember that. Secondly, if you're an artist, you need to get with DJ 45 and Kingly C. Go to the Crowded IG page, and you'll be able to find them on there. It's two of the hardest working DJs in America right now. So if you're not
Believe that.
DJ 4500 and Kingly C, you missing out. So make sure you jump on and do that. Big Mitch, it's been a pleasure to have you on, and thanks for joining the Crowded Room tonight. We definitely gonna try to see what we can make happen with this album release party. Big Mitch and Crowded album release party. We're gonna have to make it happen. I appreciate everybody jumping on. And right now, I just need everybody to go to Grind City Media, Slow and Poured, the Discharge show on the Roku channel. Thanks to everyone tuning in with us tonight, man. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all Monday at 9:30. Thanks, everybody.
UGK forever, baby.
Already.
The funk is amongst us. Funk is amongst us. I say, ow! And you might just get on that. Trap you up, get it funky up. Dig this. She was fine. Ooh, I was psyched. Like JJ never said dynamite. She was a bad member. Damn, I told her she could be. She sent a homegirl over to holler at me. She said somebody wanna get what you need. She likes bust. She sees what you want, what you want. I can't believe she pushing the issue. Don't tell her what I was getting. No telling her. I drove over to the table with a look in her eye, saying she's willing and able. And asked her how she doing. She said, all right. And then she said, what's the chances of getting with you tonight? Cause I've been watching you since you walked in the joint. And I gotta have it, she was straight to the point. I had to make her sort of see what she's all about. The next night I was digging out the big house.
I'm at the brick house at the disco. I'ma make you
Say what? So fine. Say
I'm at the brick house at the disco. I'ma make you do what it do.
look here.
But you know how we do. I was out there trying to catch
So what's next on the menu? The venue. Should I continue to tell you who I'm gonna be next? Gotta be safe, having casual sex. Bet. Now in the club when the time gets too clock, you head to the after hour coffee spot. A whole lot of freaky things going on off top. Plus it's a Saturday, so it's about to pop off. So this bitch telling me about this chick that I was looking over. Said she wants some dick. I said no shit, homie. Pointed out. Introduced us before. Come to find out. She danced all on me. Popping that thing, looking lovely. Few weeks had her in the Jeep getting nasty. She asked me the A+, no doubt. Another episode with the cold brick house.
I'm at the brick house at the disco. I'ma make you do what it do. but you know how we do. I was out there trying to catch.
Now, here's a little story I got to tell about one bad chick I didn't know so well. What happened way back in Louisiana when I got my Cadillac, first one in fact. When we got introduced, it was by my cousin. And that's before I knew who or what she was. She was laid back, kicking it, doing it right. On the little Jane and him getting right for the night. It was me, my cool and my brother and three chicks. My brother had one already, so I had to pick. Didn't even have to choose, she just don't eat quick. And when she walked outside, I saw the legs she was seeing. Yeah, you know we got in on the car, then we started bumping and grinding. Work, I was putting in, she was getting in. Short on what it's all about, knocking down the bridge.
I'm in a brick house and the disco.
Showing up fine.
I'm in a brick house and the disco.
Good look, good.
I'm in a brick house and the disco.
I'ma make it do what it do. Come and get it, baby.
I'm in a brick house and the disco.
I'ma make it do.
But you know how we do. I was
Out there trying to catch it.
Yes, sir. Player D. Big Mitch.
Yeah,
Rodeo.
what's up, Player D?
Country boy.
Big Mitch. It's a trill thing,
Country
boy.
boy.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
You say you know me, you not even close. It's a trill thing, bitch, nigga, I'm the host. I'm leaning on the leather, gripping on the wood. Your bitch sucking my dick because it's all fucking good. You bad ass bitches won't leave me alone. I feel like Pimp C, I got a pocket full of stone. This boy trying to knock me off my game. Bitch ass niggas, that's a goddamn shame. I'm all about this money and help my country folks. I live this life, I ain't no goddamn joke. Dirt road to the showroom floor. The coke bottles, man, they be wanting fucking more. I can't stop, I keep on driving. Throw my hands up while the South keep thriving. You talking this, but I represent for real. I'm coming down, baby, gripping on the wood wheel. It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Feel like
It's a trill thing.
it's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang, nigga.
It's the country boys coming down. Throw up your city and represent the time. It's Port Arthur, Texas, city of G's, where it's all about family and stack of G's. UGK for life, everybody knows. When we pull up in the parking lot, we stop the show. Big trucks and legs, rims and grills, hands all on the wood grain, working the wheel. Got a black to steel in the land of the tree. Ain't nobody playing, man, when it comes to this grill. People falling like flies, make you wonder why. You didn't choose to come here, you can't choose when you die. Tighten up the game, cause the world ain't bad. Better have a good time and put some herb in the air. Big bitch is the truth, and I'm letting them hang. True and real, put it together, now it's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang.
Let your nuts hang.
It's a trill thing.
It's a trill thing.
Let your nuts hang, nigga.
I get a pass up in every hood. East side, west side, trill weapons on good. I pop trunks so they can feel it. Candy slam bass and I keep it gangster. Ain't no time for player hating. I keep dime pieces, yellow bones, pretty women. They does, Amazon's pretty women. I get my drink on, kick it with the Trill G's. Heat packers, money getting OGs. I keep my wrist froze, frozen with my ice on. Trill players don't be tripping about the price on. We just lay back, blowing on that good kush. Keep a bad chip with fire, don't make good bush. They hold a player down, represent at all times. They got some stacks to fold, ain't no way you spending mine. We keep it real, man.
Do it up and do it.